So I slept really badly last night, and I don't know if you can see, I've got these black marks under here. So I thought it was a good opportunity to show you how lymphatic drainage can really help, and in such a short space of time, because it's as good a way as any to kind of prove, if you like, how it works, because it doesn't really feel like you're doing anything when you're doing lymphatic drainage. So here we go. All I'm doing at the minute is just, I'm having a feel around, seeing if there's anything blocked, and there is actually here. That's blocked, so I'm just clearing one of those nodes, and you might see some of our other adverts on pieces, you know, where I'm speaking, one of those things. You can tell I'm tired. Videos on nodes and block nodes and ducts. So essentially that's all the same thing. And so now what I'm doing is I am pulling the skin. I'm not using any pressure, I'm just pulling, okay? And then here, that actually is an area that can feel quite tender sometimes, and that's because if you've got a backup of fluid, which is your waste, if you've got that backing up in places and then you start to release it, it can feel tender because there's pressure there. So what we're doing, we're putting pressure on to release pressure, so you will feel a tenderness there. A good rule of thumb is to press on just as with enough pressure as if you were just leaning your head in and relaxing it, okay? So you're not forcing, you're not kind of really manhandling yourself. You need to be very delicate still. But if you were just resting your head on your thumbs, and that's a good indication of the amount of pressure, okay? So now we're moving this fluid, moving this waste. And bear in mind, we're doing this manually. If you use some of the machines that we've got that are absolutely amazing, then obviously you get faster, deeper, more noticeable results. But I just want to show you the manual way. So we're drawing it all to the sides, because what everything's doing is moving to the side, and then it drains down, okay? And I'm not going to cut this on purpose, because there's so many videos online where you're not entirely sure, or photographs where the angle's not quite the same, or the lighting's different. So I just want to actually do it while, I was about to say while we're on the phone, I really am struggling today. But while we are doing the video. So apologies if it gets a bit long-winded and a bit rambling, especially with my lack of cognitive skills today, I'm afraid. Now my main focus is on my eyes, because that is where you can actually see the black marks. But I'm doing the whole face because obviously I don't want to be puffy anywhere, everywhere. You know, just like reduce the eyes and then the rest of the face is puffy. I might as well do everything while we're at it. Your lymphatic system runs really low, really slow, excuse me. And so if you go fast, you're not going to achieve anything. What we're trying to do, in fact what I'm doing now is a little bit fast. What we're trying to do is to stimulate the lymphatic flow in the lymphatic vessels, which lies in the surface of the skin. So by stimulating that, the body then does its own thing. And obviously I'm showing you on the face now, because that's where we've got a visual way of being able to show how it works. But look at some of the before and during pictures. Or what I tend to do is take a photograph when I'm like halfway through a treatment. So I'll work half the side of a body, take a photograph and you can see the difference then. And they're genuine photographs that I'm taking with the client on the table. I literally just put a line down the middle of their body so that you can see the difference. But they're live, you know, nothing is manipulated. I've got some puffiness around here as well now, so just moving that on. So what we're doing, we're clearing channels and we're making space for everything to flow to the drainage points, and then we continue back to push it again, so that we're filling the void we've just created, like emptying the bucket. So we're emptying the bucket and then we're filling it back again. I can feel already how my texture is changing. It's less puffy to the touch, and it's interesting that it's around here because now we obviously need to drain it down. It's moving and I'm starting to feel a bit more alive. I don't know if you can see if my eyes aren't as red or not as they were. But you know that heaviness when you've not slept well, and you can go up to your forehead as well, but my forehead feels fine. But you know that heaviness when you haven't slept very well, that you kind of get behind your eyes? I had that, and that now is clearing. Because when we sleep, our body drains, our body works. That's why we sleep. It shuts down so that the body has energy in order to be able to heal us. That's when we do it. That's why they say you need a minimum of 6 hours unbroken sleep every night, 6 to 8, because that is giving your body enough time to break down food and then to get the waste and do everything that it needs to do and collect it and get it out of your system. So if you're not getting enough sleep, the waste is just sitting there. It's not moving because there's not enough time for the body to do the full job. It's like doing half day at work. You can't expect someone to do a full day's work in half a day. That's kind of what we do in the body when we don't sleep well. And so all I'm doing now is just giving it a little bit of a helping hand to move that waste out of the system so that we can feel better and more alive, and hopefully I won't be so groggy for the rest of the day. Now I've done, what have I done now? 7 minutes. If I leave this another 3 minutes or so, you'll notice that the results are even more pronounced because what I'm doing continues. It's not going to just stop. It's like you don't just stop a channel of water if you release the dam. So this is going to continue now, but already you can see the difference, like the black that was under here has gone. So at the end I'm going to do before and after, but you will know, because you've watched this whole video at real time without it being cut, that that is actually a genuine before and after. And this is the power of a really gentle touch. One other thing that you'll find about lymphatic drainage is that it's really relaxing. It's really relaxing, and that is because it stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the nervous system that makes you relax a little bit. So if you are stimulating it by pulling the nerves in the skin, which is what we're doing because that's how we also move the lymphatic fluid, then what you tend to find is that you relax as well. And so when you're doing this on your face, it's so lovely, especially when you're feeling tired and just a little bit groggy. Can you see the difference? I don't know if you can see my eyes, they're not as red. And then under here, obviously. So this isn't the routine that I do every single morning. There's no need for it normally. I just do a little bit like I'm doing now. And then that just keeps on top of everything. But obviously, desperate times require desperate measures.